evolution of the skin. I'm doing Ramiro, that's Daniel Cappello, and Chris Haddad is away. So Daniel Cappello will be taking over his part today. Welcome everybody, good afternoon.
Okay, so our evolution proposition is that so in the next 1 million years, humans will have darker skin, and our evolution proposition is based on arguments surrounding the differences between light and dark skinned humans, and why the lighter skinned humans are in more danger from the sun currently and over the next million years. We have acknowledged the existence of global warming and taken into account the increasing danger the sun presents as the ozone layer is damaged, and how the process of natural selection will cause humans to evolve into a dark-skinned species. Okay, so skin consists of two layers, the dermis and the epidermis, as the arrows can show here. The dermis is the bottom layer, which contains blood and lymph vessels, sweat glands, hair follicles, nerve endings, and connective tissue. This is not really important. We need to focus on the epidermis. The epidermis is the uppermost layer of skin and is responsible for providing protection against mechanical force, water, pathogens, toxins, etc. So at the base of the epidermis is where melanocytes are found, as the thing associated. So melanocytes are found in this bottom part here, bigger part. So melanocytes produce melanin. As you can see in the diagram, the melanocytes at the base of the epidermis produce melanin. And this is melanin. So melanin is the pigment responsible for color, for skin color. So melanin's function is to provide protection against ultraviolet radiation from the sun. As the epidermis, the outer layer of skin, is there to provide protection against harmful parts of the external environment, like pressure and sharp objects and things like that. The melanin in the epidermis is responsible for protecting humans against the ultraviolet rays from the sun. So if we all have melanocytes and melanin, why do light-skinned people receive much greater harm from the sun than dark-skinned people? And why are some people dark and other people light-skinned? Okay, the answer to both of these questions is that within the skin there are in fact two types of melanin. There is pheomelanin and eumelanin. Pheomelanin is represented by the red dots, whereas eumelanin is represented by the blue dots. Darker-skinned humans have lots of eumelanin, whereas lighter-skinned humans have lots of pheomelanin. Okay, pheomelanin. Pheomelanin is yellow-red in color, and it's photoreactive. This photoreactive means that it does not protect against ultraviolet rays from the sun, so you're not protected from the sun, and it actually causes a higher melanoma risk. That's why you see lots of fair-skinned people that are, sunscreen is very important because they're at risk of melanoma. And the melanocytes in fair-skinned people, they still produce very, very low amounts of eumelanin, but they're mostly unprotected from the sun. And then we go to eumelanin, which is a brown and black in color, so that's dark-skinned people. And eumelanin is photoprotective. That means it protects you from UV rays, ultraviolet rays. And the dark-skinned people have melanocytes that mostly produce eumelanin, but there is still a tiny, tiny bit of pheomelanin. Okay, so in this diagram here, skin types 1 and 2 would produce more than 90% pheomelanin. So that's 1 and 2 here. And skin type 3, which would produce about 70% pheomelanin. And then skin type 4 would produce about 70% eumelanin. And then skin type 5 and 6 would produce more than 90% eumelanin. So people with dark skin predominantly produce eumelanin, whereas fair-skinned blonde or redhead people mainly produce pheomelanin. The reason why humans tan is because the melanocytes have to produce more melanin in order to protect the skin from ultraviolet damage. Ultraviolet damage could lead to DNA damage and cancer, plus premature skin aging, sunspots, wrinkles, and weakened skin. Dark-skinned humans produce even more protection when they produce more eumelanin due to its photoprotective characteristic, whereas light-skinned humans merely produce pheomelanin, discoloring and inflaming the skin in a desperate attempt to protect the human from ultraviolet rays. So as in the animation here, you can see that after this, both people are exposed to sun. The dark-skinned person, the eumelanin, allows the person to tan and become darker, and this increases their protection from the sun, whereas the light-skinned person tends to get sunspots and age spots and sunburn, and it can be fatal over time. Okay.
Oh, the ozone layer's purpose is to protect our Earth over here. This is our ozone layer, and these are ultraviolet rays and sun radiation. So the ozone layer's purpose is to protect our Earth from those two things. Global warming is when greenhouse gases are released into the atmosphere, causing the ozone layer to deplete. So this purple thing here is depleting, so that black thing is like eating it. And when the ozone layer becomes weaker, allowing stronger ultraviolet rays and radiation to pass into the Earth's atmosphere, the organisms on Earth are affected. Specifically, humans are exposed to more powerful and dangerous rays because the ozone layer is becoming weaker. The Earth becomes hotter due to the direct sunlight, hence the term global warming. UV rays are beneficial to the humans in that humans need vitamin D. However, overexposure to ultraviolet rays and sun radiation can have negative effects such as discoloration, textural changes, sunspots, premature aging, and skin cancer. Textural changes include outer layer of the skin becoming thinner, meaning it easily blisters and tears and turns into grazes. This means that fair-skinned people are more susceptible to injuries and therefore have higher likelihood of a shorter lifespan. This is contributing to the natural selection. So people are saying like people like Daniel's skin color are more susceptible to some not darker skinned people. Ultimately, in a million years, a combination of the ultimately in a million years, lighter skin is a weakness in the climate of the Earth, especially as the sun rays become stronger and more fatal. Darker skin, however, is better suited to the environment due to its acting like a shield against the rays of the sun, its ability to strengthen a shield even after lots of exposure. Charles Darwin, the scientist of evolution, states that organisms with the most desirable traits for a particular environment will survive. As lighter-skinned people, population continue to thin out due to the harsh effects of the sun, which can only get worse due to global warming because the ozone layer is depleting.
So the dark-skinned population on the Earth will be able to survive, and because the melanin in their skin, the human melanin in their skin, is a desirable trait in that environment, they will be able to thrive. Whereas the light-skinned people who have mostly pheomelanin, that trait is actually like undesirable in that environment, in the changing climate of the Earth, especially with global warming. So those people will, the light-skinned people will die, and the dark-skinned people will live on. So ultimately, in 1 million years, a combination of the perpetually increasing harmful ultraviolet rays from the sun and the weakness of pheomelanin in light-skinned humans will mean that the population of light-skinned humans on Earth will eventually be eradicated after natural selection occurs. Due to human melanin being a desirable trait in the environment of Earth over the next million years, where ultraviolet rays become more powerful and harmful to humans, human evolution will occur with the result of an Earth solely populated by dark-skinned humans. Yeah. And then we have our... Yeah. That's how we work.